දසනකාන්ති චූර්ණය සහිත ලීවර් ආයුෂ් දන්තාලේපය දත්වල ඇති ප්‍රශ්න 10ක් වලකයි.
This resolution had been on the agenda since 2009. Irrespective of the government, irrespective of the political parties in power, irrespective of the leadership who is there, Sri Lanka had been perpetually on the agenda. So whatever you deliver, they will continue with a new theme and this will remain. Despite that, Sri Lanka has committed to do what is required for Sri Lanka. For example, after the humanitarian operation was succeeded in 2009, we all know the peace benefits have been enjoyed by everybody in this country, in Sri Lanka, including the Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslim, Burghers, whoever you call it. Massive development drive have been taken place in various parts of the country. About 12,194 LTT cadres who surrendered after the war had been totally rehabilitated and sent back to the society and to the community, and they are living peacefully. None of them are asking for to prosecute our war heroes outside the country or to bring foreign judges or have hybrid courts. What they want is economic development. Despite that, it is obvious the core group, I believe, based on the pressure brought upon them by some diaspora elements in the capital, are continuing the agenda of coming out the various new factors into the resolution. So therefore, in principle, we have opposed this. But on the other hand, what we are saying that domestically, we are contributing. For example, if you look at since 2009, 94% of the land occupied by the army had been returned to the people. And we are in the process of returning further, whatever necessary. The PTA had been amended and Cabinet recently approved the total abolishment of the PTA and to introduce a new anti-terror legislation which is in line with the international community. We are working on that. 22nd Amendment is supposed to be argued on the 6th and the 7th. None of these things had been given credit for. So what we are saying at this crucial juncture in Sri Lankan history, what we need is international support. What we need is unity in the country. We don't want division. We don't want this polarizing in the council and divide Sri Lanka further. So it is in that context that Sri Lanka had engaged the core group. We have told them we need time and space to deliver, but all our pleas have not been accepted by. The fact that we have won a brutal war and brought peace to the country. The fact that 25,000 Sri Lankan soldiers have laid down their life to protect the unity and territorial integrity of the country has been accepted by everybody. And therefore, there has to be time and space for Sri Lanka to come out of it. Yet, I think core group, for whatever the reason, is not willing to listen. It looks like that they want to perpetuate Sri Lanka on the agenda. So therefore, we continue to oppose this, particularly in view of a so-called operative para 8 of the proposed resolution, which is very, very dangerous, intrude into our constitution and territorial integrity and separation of power and independence of judiciary. And already on the 46th one, they introduced that. They want to reinforce that, giving power and money to collect evidence against Sri Lanka and use it to prosecute Sri Lankan war heroes and people who are responsible bringing peace for this country outside the jurisdiction of Sri Lanka, which we cannot agree. That violates the constitution, that violates the separation of power, that violates the independence of our judicial activities. So therefore, we have told this is unnecessary, uncalled for. We cannot agree, and we will do it in our country and allow us time and space. Though the wider membership is 193 is overwhelmingly sympathetic towards Sri Lanka, the voting membership is 47, which is being totally dominated by a group with their economic and other power. Irrespective of the results, we cannot agree or co-sponsor this because that will go against our people. One day when someone with an agenda go and prosecute our people, if you go and co-sponsor this or agree with it, the chances of taking any sorts of defense against that will also be lost. But we are also not naive, not to understand the reality of the voting and the results with the clout which is carried forward by very powerful country against a small country like Sri Lanka. But does that mean that we should give up our freedom, give up our sovereignty, or allow somebody to trample our constitutional process and constitutional governance? No, we will not allow that.